Hello, guys. Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. What's up, Alex? We've started. What did you want to say?
I had some issues with my connections, but hopefully now we are all good.
Yeah, I've got. I can't see your face, but that's okay. We know what you look like. How's your connection? All right, I'll let Alex deal with that one. Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. We are previewing, it's the US Open value plays, value betting, now looking at day 5, men's and women's singles. What a rocky start we've had so far. We've had rain, we've had favorites pull out, we've had favorites not even, show up. It's been quite a ride so far, and we're only headed into day 5. How's everything going for you, Joao?
Yeah, it has been a strange tournament, and we have also one thing that has been happening throughout 2017, which is the fact that most of the players who have been dominating the tour for the last 5, even 7 years are getting older there, and we have a lot of promising young players appearing. Then we are starting to see a change in momentum, and we saw that yesterday in the match against between Tsonga and Shapovalov. I believe that Tsonga's higher experience could make the difference, and also the fact that Shapovalov had never played in the US Open Arthur Ashe Stadium in a night session, although he had the experience of from playing in Montreal. But the Canadian completely outplayed Tsonga. Was a huge performance from him, and we're watching that throughout the season, that things are changing, and from 2018 forward, I think that we'll see new names dominating the tennis.
That's right. We had my husband's Canadian, and I had my mother-in-law phoning in on every point that the Canadian won. They like to, they were pleased with that result. Alex, how are you doing so far? I know Bookmakers News, Twitter, and Odds Market as well, our sister sites. You've been busy in-play betting. How's that going? Are you finding it easier to in-play bet, especially with all these sort of changes that, that is different for us?
Yeah, I think that the US Open until now is the most strange for live betting the matches. Okay, right now I've made a bet on live betting on Pliskova, losing first set to Gibbs, and also 3-3 in the second one, and I had her at 1.8. So we will have for sure some profit from that, but it's a weird thing. So I changed a little the situation. So I'm doing the parlay of the day, I'm doing the bet of the day, so I'm in profit there, So 3 from 4 parlays of the day with the value over 2.5 winners right now, and also the pick of the day winners. Most of them, they are winners. So let's adapt. This is why we are here to adapt. If we don't make a lot of money from from in-play bets, we will have another approach always.
Yeah, and that's right. You have to adapt with any sort of betting. Really, it's a very sort of interchangeable market. Joao, obviously we've had the rain, and tell me, what are the main contenders that are still in for today, and then also for tomorrow?
Today we still have in action Roger Federer against Mikhail Yuzhny. As Alex mentioned, we believe that Federer can cover his spread today against the Russian. Also, Rafael Nadal is going to play against Taro Daniel from Japan. Should be also an easy match for Nadal, although his spread is a little bit high. For tomorrow, we don't have any huge favorite in action, although we can consider Marin Cilic the main contender that is going to play tomorrow, because Alexander Zverev lost in the previous round against Borna Coric, so he won't play tomorrow. We'll have Coric against Kevin Anderson, and those are the main contenders that we have on the men's side. And on the women's, we have, as Alex mentioned, Karolina Pliskova is playing right now. Now it's I was trying to watch the score, but they are changing overs at this moment. We still have today the American Coco Vandeweghe in action, and tomorrow we have Garbiñe Muguruza, Venus Williams, and also Maria Sharapova. So a lot of big names in action tomorrow, especially on the women's side.
Big names in action, but we're not here for the big names. We're here for the value. Alex, what are your thoughts?
Sorry, Nat. Before going with the value, Robinson Yepes, we're talking about Maria Sharapova once again. Won her second round yesterday, but it was not at her best. But I have a problem. I have a really big problem. What is the number 146 in the World WTA, Maria Sharapova? She was out for more than 1 year due to the pills that she took. So she was out of the tourneys not because she wanted, but because the tennis federation wanted. So what she's doing now to play on center court on Arthur Ashe Stadium, number 146 WTA once again. I'm really pissed off with this. I know that she's attracting people. I know that she's selling. I know that she has a really big crowd and a lot of fans in USA. But when you put number 146 and all the other players are talking about it in their press conference, what she's doing to play on Arthur Ashe, and we are not, we are in top 20 and we are not playing on central court, this is outrageous. Outrageous. From my point of view, first of all, she shouldn't be here. No wild card, no nothing. But okay, you give her wild card, put her to play on court 17, like number 146 146 is playing, not on central court. Come on.
Yeah, do you agree with that, Joao?
Well, that's always about the money and also the sponsorships that the players have. Sometimes the players are sponsored by the same brand that sponsors the tournament, and that can affect things. And it's always all about the money. And Maria, although she has been involved in some controversies with her suspension, but she attracts the people, even those who want her to win, those who want her to lose. Everyone wants to see her play, and I think that's the reason why she's been scheduled to play on the main courts.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sometimes all about the money, unfortunately. Okay, Joao, what do you like? Day 5, value plays. Start with the men's. What matches are you looking at?
Tomorrow is a tough day. We have a lot of big favorites taking place. We don't have many close encounters. When looking at the prices for tomorrow, the closest encounters that we have is with the price on the favorite is around 1.5. So we don't have many close contests. But I think that the match between Misha Zverev and John Isner can be closer than the odds suggest. John is only around 1.33, something like that. And Misha is never an easy opponent. As we mentioned in the previous analysis, someone asked yesterday about his match against Paire. He can be a very tough opponent when the other player can't find a way to return his serve, and that's one thing that happens with John. He has been struggling against Misha in recent encounters. Zverev already won a couple of matches this year against the American in the Australian Open, also in Geneva, and I think that John will have a tough time here. Looking at the over is around 40.5 games at 1.88 on Pinnacle. I think it's around that. I think that it should be a close encounter, and even if it's only on 4 sets, this over should be covered because we'll have at least 1 or 2 tiebreaks taking place. So it's all about having tiebreaks and Misha winning at least 1 set, and I think that it should be a pretty close encounter.
Okay, a close encounter. Alex, do you share those thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree with Joao. You can listen to him 24 hours. When he has a point, he has a point. But let's continue with our bad discussion about Maria Sharapova. No, haters are gonna hate. Yeah, okay, haters are gonna hate. But when you are doing a mistake, you have to pay for it. I know that she's a big champion. I know that she was world number 1. She won a lot of Grand Slams.
She has been out on suspension. She is
What?
back. I do think giving her centre court when she's 146, I think. But Joao makes a good point. It's a player that people want to see.
Yeah, I got that. But I think that Roland Garros and Wimbledon are more conservative. They are not giving wildcard to for this kind of problems, and they are 100% right from my point of view. Just anyway, I'm not hate. I don't hate her. She's a great champ, but from my point of view, no central court for her, at least in this tournament.
All right.
So talking about value bets. I will be really quick. So I have 2 bets from the men's side. Kevin Anderson minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap in numbers of sets versus Bjorna Čorić. Okay, you will say to me that Bjorna Čorić won against Alexander Zverev yesterday. Yes, true. But I think that Kevin Anderson is doing one of his best tournaments so far. And I think that he will cover his minus 1.5 set Asian handicap against Čorić. And the other one, Moldavian Radu Albot, will have a really difficult match against Sam Querrey, one of the crowd's favorites, Sam Querrey. So I'm going with Sam Querrey in straight sets at 1.8, 3-0 against Radu Albot. 1.8 is really good from my point of view. The odds are really good.
Yeah, I like that as well. What do you think there, Joao, about Alex's tips?
I like very much the one on Anderson. I think that the South African is playing very well. He also has some great records in the US Open. I believe it was in 2015 that he reached the quarterfinals after defeating Andy Murray. Was a huge performance from him. Then he lost to Wawrinka. Was tough for him to continue at the same level after that huge win. But he always plays well here. He did a good match against Gulbis in the previous round. And although Čorić is a great competitor, as he showed against Zverev, this is a completely different matchup, and his defensive game style won't be as effective against Anderson, because he'll give a lot of opportunities for the South African to take control of the point and attack like he likes to do. On the other match, I think that Querrey can cover the set handicap. Personally, I'm not a big fan of betting on Querrey, although he's very, very dangerous. He can lose his serve sometimes out of nowhere. He can be very inconsistent. But Albot is definitely the lower level player on that match. Sorry, I think that Querrey can get the job done in straight sets. But as I said, I'm not a fan of betting on Sam Querrey's matches.
Okay, so take us through women's now value plays, Alex.
Just one from the women's side. Sevastova versus Donna Vekic. Donna Vekic is, as we know, the girlfriend of number 3 or 4 in the world. What is his the ATP rankings right now, Joao?
Sorry, I was reading the comments.
What is Donna Vekic boyfriend rankings right now in the ATP?
I don't know. Wawrinka may be now the 6th or 5, but he will drop a lot after this tournament.
So I wanted to test Joao to see if he knows who is her boyfriend. Wawrinka, of course.
I know. and everyone knows after what Kyrgios said. You remember that?
Yeah, I know. We know what Kyrgios said. Yeah.
Everyone knows that. I don't know if Natalie.
Okay, I'm going with Sevastova to beat Donna Vekic at 1.7. I think that Sevastova, she really had an impressive year so far. Also last year it was interesting, but this year is far better from Sevastova, and she has more experience than Donna Vekic. If I'm allowed to say that, at 1.7, I think that the odds are really good for Sevastova to win the match.
All right, so you got one on the women's side there. We've got Robinson saying we all agree that WTA is better than ATP, right? I know you disagree with that, Joao. You like ATP betting.
I don't say that it's better in terms of making profit or not, because on the WTA you'll find better opportunities. But in terms of stress level, betting on ATP is less stressful. I don't say it's not so stressful. It's less stressful because the stress is always high. But in terms of profit and finding valuable opportunities, I agree that on the WTA you'll find more of those. But also you'll find matches where you can bet on a player who is expecting to win and she can lose by 6-0, 6-0. So anything can happen on the WTA, and that's why you'll find good opportunities. But also some matches where you can go completely against what you predict.
Yeah, you do seem like a very chilled guy, I have to say. I know you live by the beach. You seem that sort of like chilled kind of person. What are you going for on the WTA value bets there, singles?
Tomorrow we have a match that involves Petra Kvitova and Caroline Garcia. In the previous round, we mentioned that Cornet could create some problems to Kvitova, but the Czech was just in one of those days where everything goes her way. Also, Cornet played extremely passive. She ended the match with only 2 winners, and that's terrible numbers for a professional player to end the match with just 2 winners. She was just outplayed, very defensive. But this time Garcia is a player who can create some problems to Kvitova. She won their previous 2 encounters. counters. She is also very aggressive. Both of them will try to hit the first strike and control the point. But I think that Garcia, the value on the money line is definitely on Garcia's side, although the price already dropped a little from 265 to 48 at this moment on Pinnacle. The value is still on the French, and also the over 22 or the over 21.5 might be a good approach, is at 1.93 on Pinnacle. This line was covered on their previous 2 encounters. Should be a pretty close match, so Garcia to win, win one set, cover her spread, or the over. All of those I think are good approaches, since the French should create some problems to the Czech.
Awesome stuff. Okay, Alex, what do you think about those bets presented by Joao? Are you going to take them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking them with my eyes closed. Always, I trust Joao's tip every time that he's giving his best tips. So also I will play also those for my tomorrow's selection.
Okay. If you guys also want to follow Alex's in-play bets, there it's at Odds Market and at Bookmakers News, 2 sister sites. In about 15 minutes as well, we'll be starting Team Bankroll Best Picks World Cup. I think it's Saturdays. We're on Saturdays now. Yeah, Saturday 2nd there.
Saturday 2nd.
So do be sure to join us. I think Stuart will be making an appearance, Big Man, Alex, myself. So stay tuned. See you there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.